नमस्ते बिटिया, I am JVN Dr. Suman Shekhawat, Department of Kai Chikitsa, Faculty of Ayurvedic Sciences, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Today we will discuss on the topic of respiratory system examination. First of all, before starting how to examine the respiratory system, we should know how to take the history that related to the respiratory system. First of all, we should see that all these kind of symptoms present in the patient or not. We should ask with the patient, like cough, expectoration, hemoptysis, breathlessness, wheeze, chest pain, and history of tuberculosis. If present, you should ask with the patient that evening rise of temperature, night sweat, anorexia, weight loss, hemoptysis, pleurisy, meningitis, lymphadenitis in past or in family, TB contact. We should ask with the patient the habit of the patient, that he or she is taking alcohol, smoking, tobacco or gutka chewing. Aspiration, foreign bodies, vomiters, for industrial disease, occupation, residence near factories or mills, allergy, family history of asthma, hay fever, eczema, rhinitis and sinusitis. We should ask with the patient of past history of measles, influenza, whooping cough in childhood, diabetes, and exposure to TB, STD and HIVs. We should see and we should ask with the patient of mediastinal compression, dysphagia, hoarse voice, dyspnea or dry cough, swelling over face. We should do the general examination of the patient, like we should see build and nutrition of the patient, nails and conjunctiva, pallor, clubbing, cyanosis, icterus, lymphadenopathies, especially skinly nodes and cervical nodes, edema of feet, JVP, and we should see temperature, pulse, respiratory rate and blood pressure of the patient. We should see neck, thyroid swelling and tracheal tug. Horner syndrome like ptosis, meiosis, anhidrosis, anophthalmos absent, ciliospinal reflexes. Upper respiratory tract, sinus tenderness, throat and nails, posterior pharyngeal wall for posterior nasal drip, and gums and teeth of the patient. Respiratory system examination, we should see inspection, palpation, percussion and auscultation of the patient. Inspection, we should see in the patient chest shape of chest, respiratory movement, mediastinum and miscellaneous. Shape of chest, we should see anterior and posterior and transverse diameter, barrel shaped chest, etc. Following bulging, flattening and retraction of the chest, it present or not, subcostal angle, shoulder, spine, spino-scapular distance on both sides of the both side of chest, right or left sided, or both side of lungs. Respiratory movement, respiratory rate, rhythm, character, abdominal, thoracic, thoraco-abdomen, abdomino-thoracic. We should see in the patient that character of respiratory movement, equality, accessory muscle or respiration, intercostal retraction, fullness. Mediastinum, trail sign, apex impulse, miscellaneous, sinus, scars on chest, palpation, dilated veins and shiny skin over lower chest. Emphysema, it can be in emphysema or fetor hepatica. Palpation, finding of inspection confirmed including chest movement. Mediastinum, trachea, apex beat, and tactile vocal phreatis TVF. Miscellaneous, tenderness over lower intercostal space, other vibration, palpable rails, rhonchi, and rub. We should see, if we are doing that percussion, then we should see anteriorly right side and left side. Right side in clavicular percussion, intercostal resonance, lever dullness, tidal percussion, shifting dullness, and percussion myoconia. Or in left side we should see clavicular percussion, intercostal resonance, cardiac dullness, Traub's area, shifting dullness, percussion myoconia. Anteriorly suprascapular, interscapular, infrascapular, in axilla, axillary and infraaxillary. Auscultation, breath sound normal or diminished. Type of breath sound, vesicular, bronchial, and vesicular with prolonged expiration. Foreign sound, rails, rhonchi or rub. Vocal resonance, miscellaneous, bronchophony, egophony, coin test, etc. If we want to do the assessment of or the diagnosis of the disease of patient that related with which system, then first of all, for the diagnosis of the disease we should take the history of the patient. After that we should do general examination of the patient, or on the basis of both these things we should do related systemic examination for the patient. These all things are very confirmatory for the diagnosis of the disease. And after that, if we are not able to identify the or to diagnose the disease, then we should go for the investigation that is also related to the specific system. And on the basis of the investigation we can diagnose the problem of the patient. Namaste Bitya, I am JVN Dr. Suman Shekhawat, Department of Kaya Chikitsa, Jyoti Vidyapith Women's University, Jaipur, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science. Today we will discuss on examination of respiratory system part 2. We are talking about that what kind of complaints we have to what kind of complaints and what kind of sign and symptoms held in respiratory system disease. So we have to see all the symptoms in and sign and symptoms in we have to check all the sign and symptoms in the patient. Next is hemoptysis. Hemoptysis means the coughing up of blood in the sputum. It should never be dismissed. Without very careful evaluation of the patient, the potentially serious significance of blood in the sputum is well known, and fear often leads patient not to mention it. A specific question is always necessary, as well as an attempt to decide it. If it is fresh or altered blood, how much is produced, when it started, and how often it happens. Causes of hemoptysis: malignancy and benign lung tumor, including lung metastasis; pulmonary infections including bacterial pneumonia, tuberculosis, lung abscess, and fungal infection; bronchiectasis including cystic fibrosis, pulmonary emboli, congestive heart failure, pulmonary fibrosis,
pulmonary vasculitis, severe pulmonary hypertension, AV malformation, chest trauma and foreign bodies, endometriosis, anticoagulation or coagulopathy, drug example cocaine and thrombolytics. Blood may be coughed up alone or sputum may be blood stained. It is sometimes difficult for the patient to describe whether or not the blood has originated from the chest or whether it comes from the gums or nose or even from the stomach. Patient should always be asked about associated conditions such as epistaxis, nose bleeding, or the subsequent development of melena, which occurs in the case of upper gastrointestinal bleeding. Usually, however, it is that the blood originate from the chest, and this is an indication for further investigation. Wheezing: always ask whether the patient hears any noise coming from the chest, even if a wheeze is not present. When you examine the patient, it is useful to know that he is noticed it on occasion. Sometimes wheezing will have been noticed by other, especially by a partner at night when asthma is worse, but not by the patient. Sometimes stridor may be mistaken for wheezing by both patient and doctor. This serious finding usually indicate narrowing of the larynx, trachea and main bronchi. It is also not unusual for the patient with a pneumothorax to describe rubbing or girding sound in their chest, which may well be due to the displaced lung. Pain in the chest apart from musculoskeletal aches and pains consequent upon prolonged bout of coughing. Coughing, chest pain caused by lung disease usually arise from the pleuritic pain in sharp and stabbing, and is made worse by deep breathing or coughing it worse when the pleura is inflamed, most commonly by infection in the underlying lung. More constant pain unrelated to breathing may be caused by local invasion of the chest wall by a lung or pleural tumor. A spontaneous pneumothorax causes pain which is worse or breathing, but which may have more infraction of the lung pleurisy, and hence pleuritic pain may occur, but an acute pulmonary embolus can be cause pain, which is not stabbing in nature. A large pulmonary embolus causing hemodynamic disturbance may cause cardiac type chest pain. Other symptoms are quite apart from the common symptom of respiratory disease. There are some other aspects of the history that are particularly relevant to the respiratory system. Upper airways questions related to the ear, nose and throat are relevant. Rhinosinusitis often coexist with asthma or less commonly bronchiectasis and can be an aggravating factor. A common cause of chronic cough is postnasal drip secondary to rhinitis. A change in the voice may indicate involvement of the left recurrent laryngeal nerve by a carcinoma of the lung. Sometimes patient using inhaled corticosteroid for asthma developed oropharyngeal candidiasis, or even hoarseness or weakness of the voice, with improve or changing the treatment. Don't don't ascribe hoarseness to this cause of the older patient, as carcinoma of the vocal cord can be present with hoarseness or a change in the quality of the voice. A laryngoscopy is always indicate if hoarseness persists for more than 4 weeks. The smoking and recreational drug history. Always take a full smoking or recreational drug history. Do so in a sympathetic and non-judgmental way, or the detail is unlikely to be accurate. The time for advice about smoking cessation is after completion of your assessment, not at the outset. Simply asking, "Do you smoke?" is not enough. No voice will be astonished at how often close probing of the answer no reveals that the patient gave it up yesterday, or that he states his intention for doing so. From the time of your consultation, age of starting and stopping, if an ex-smoker, and average consumption for both current and ex-smoker are the bare minimum information needed. Identification for an individual as a current or ex-smoker will greatly influence the interpretation you place on your finding upon history and examination. Almost all cases of lung cancer and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease occurs in those who have smoked. Recreational drug use tends to be commoner in younger people, but do not assume that this is the case, and ask all patients for all walks of life. Cannabis can cause severe emphysema in younger patients who are often unaware of effects. Use the consultation is discuss its long-term sequels. Family history. There is strong inherited susceptibility to asthma associated atopic conditions such as eczema and hay fever may also be present in relatives of those with asthma, particularly in those who develop the condition when young. The occupational history is on other organ is susceptible to the working environment as much as the lung. Several hundred different substances have now been recognized as causing occupational asthma. Paint sprayers, paint sprays workers in the electronics, rubber or plastic industries, and woodworkers are relatively commonly affected. List of common occupations that may be associated with asthma, like car paint sprayers, like isocyanates, electrician, colophony, and woodworkers, rubber and plastic industries, baker, floor dust and enzyme, example amylase, working with asthma, vets, zookeeper, laboratory worker, rodents, urinary parts, urinary proteins, and working with agriculture, farmer, fish worker, salmon proteins, healthcare professional, latex and diathermy. hair dressing, persulfate, henna. Tea shifter and packers. Damage from inhalation of asbestos may take decades to become manifest more seriously as malignant mesothelioma. In middle-aged individuals who present with a pleural effusion, often the first sign of mesothelioma, always ask about possible asbestos exposure in jobs back to the time of first employment. List of activity that may lead to asbestos exposure: mining and manufacture of asbestos, and shipbuilding and aircraft manufacturing, dock and rail workers, and unloading asbestos from ships and trains, thermal and fire insulation lagging, construction, building repair and demolition, construction, building repair and demolition, and plumber and gas fitters, car mechanics, brake lining, and electrician, carpenter, and upholsterers, manufacturers of gas masks in World War II, family member of one of the above, and or working or living near an asbestos source, particularly if asbestos fiber taken home or worker clothing. Thank you. This session is powered by 2.0 digital version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you all are satisfied with this session. If you feel any kind of problem with this session, please mention it in comment box. I will resolve it soon. Thank you.